Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about the mistake men make after being rejected. Okay, so I'm going to go into 3 common things that a lot of guys do when they get rejected, and how you can avoid doing these things, because these are really big mistakes that perhaps could, if you hadn't have done them, or if a guy doesn't do them, because maybe you've never done this before but you just want to know, or maybe you have done these things and now you know how to correct your behavior if you're ever in that kind of position again. Because, sometimes a woman may reject you and then later on regret her choice if you behave differently, and maybe then she'll start to warm up to you and maybe start to see you differently. Maybe. Okay. And I say maybe because if a woman has rejected you flat out, let's say you asked her out at work, or you asked her at school, or maybe you know her from work or school or some other kind of environment, like maybe you met at a party or something, and you may have got her number and you messaged her and then she rejected you. When this kind of thing happens, most of the time it's because attraction isn't a choice and she just doesn't like you enough. Because if she found you attractive, then she would have wanted to date you. She would have accepted that. She would have gone along with it. She would have wanted to see you too. So let's get into the 3 common mistakes that men make after being rejected. Okay, so the first one is turning into action man. Okay, on some level, when a guy gets rejected, sometimes he may believe that the reason he got rejected was because he wasn't good enough, because for some reason he's not good enough. Okay, and he feels like if he corrects his behavior, or if he takes certain actions, or he starts to prove himself to her, then maybe she will start to see him as worthy in her eyes. And the reason why that is a mistake is because attraction isn't a choice. If she's not attracted to you, there's not a lot you can do. Even if you change the way you look, if you change your personality, if you're trying to do all these different things to help impress her, attraction isn't a choice. So even if you make these changes, it's not going to change a thing, because she just doesn't feel it for you. Okay, so there's no point turning into action man and feeling like you need to prove yourself in some way to get her to like you more, because more likely than not, if she's rejected you, there's not a lot you can do. Okay, now that's not always though 100% the case in terms of attraction is not a choice, because maybe she didn't like you to begin with, and then maybe she will like you eventually because of your new the new way that you're presenting yourself. Okay, but what tends to be the mistake is that when men try to change their behavior to impress a woman that's rejected them, they are coming from a place of trying to prove themselves. They're trying to seek her validation instead of changing who he is for him. Okay, and she can tell that this new it's a facade. It's not true. It's not genuine. It's not a genuine change. It's just something he feels like she knows it's something he's trying to do to impress her, rather than this is now who that guy is. Now, you may get to a stage where you grow and you mature, for example. Maybe that's one of the reasons, perhaps this happened when you was a teenager. Perhaps you mature as a man. You mature, genuinely mature in many, many ways. And you become maybe more responsible, and perhaps you take care of yourself more. You become across more presentable. And you do this genuinely for yourself, and you're developing genuine self-respect for yourself. Okay? And you're behaving not because you're trying to impress a woman, not because you're trying to impress anybody, but because you're trying to impress yourself and because you want to feel better about yourself as a man. Okay, that's when perhaps those women in the past who have rejected you may start to see you differently, because they can sense that genuine change, and that genuine change isn't a mask that man is wearing because that's what he feels like he needs to do to get women. So you can notice there's a difference there, right? So if you are going to turn into action man, don't turn into action man to try and prove yourself to a woman, but do turn into action man to try and prove yourself how great you are, rather than to prove a woman how great you are, or other people in general. The best position to be is not that everyone believes that you're a badass. right? The best position to be is to believe truly in yourself that you are, because you know it through the actions that you've took. You know yourself so well that you've got such a high self-esteem that you know that you're really great and you're really unstoppable, and you've done many hard, difficult things in your life that you feel that has made you awesome, because no one can take that away from you, okay? If you pretend to be cool, if you pretend to be someone with self-respect, inside that probably is, you probably don't feel that way. You probably feel very insecure and have low self-esteem. But if you change your behavior and you start to take action for yourself, and you do some difficult things, like let's say you've always wanted to write a book, and then you go ahead and do that, you've done something really cool. You've become a badass because you did that, right? And no one can take that away from you. That it can be solidified into your self-esteem. Perhaps you're overweight, and then you start going to the gym, and you put in the hard work of eating the right things, of going to the gym regularly, or exercising at home, whatever it may be, going out running, karate, whatever it could be, whatever is your flavor of exercise. And you discipline yourself, and now you've achieved that, and you get to that point of achievement, and now no one can take that away from you. That is, again, solidified into your self-esteem. You know that you did something difficult and you achieved it. You're a badass, okay? So, you can notice the difference there, okay? That's the kind of guy that you want to turn yourself into if you're going to turn yourself into anything, okay? You want to respect yourself first and do a bunch of difficult things that you've always wanted to do to prove to yourself that you're awesome, okay? And then you don't need to prove to anyone else that you're awesome, because you know deep down that you are. And therefore, you're not going to tolerate if a woman rejects you anymore. You're just going to let it go automatically and be like, fine, no matter what, I'm going to go and find a woman that loves me. I'm going to find a woman that deserves me as much as I deserve her. I'm not going to try and convince a woman that doesn't like me to like me, when I can easily just go and find a woman who already does, and that's a better position to be in. So, after being rejected, don't turn into action man and put on a false mask of pretending to be someone that you're not, because you're just trying to impress her. So, the next thing, the next mistake men make after being rejected is turning into closure man. Okay, and this is one of the things that will really annoy women, okay, that reject you. You want to find out why. So that's, right? So it may not be you, obviously. I'm addressing the men who may be watching who do like to do this. So a woman rejects you and you want to know why. You want to know why she rejected you, okay? Now, I can tell you why she rejected you, so you don't need to ask her why. You don't need closure. She doesn't like you enough. She's not attracted to you enough. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's just that she just doesn't happen to be attracted to you, okay? And there's probably nothing you can do to change that, okay? Because attraction isn't a choice, okay? That's one specific woman doesn't find you attractive. But I'm sure in the past, maybe you didn't like that woman, for example, but I'm sure you've had women in the past who perhaps you didn't like, that liked you, that were attracted to you. And you're like, oh, I don't really like her, but she's really attracted to me. And maybe you had a bit of a tag along for a while because she had a crush, right? Maybe you've had that experience before, and perhaps you didn't find her very attractive, you wasn't interested in her, but she found you attractive. Okay, so it's not like there's something wrong with you because some women do find you attractive, okay? It just so happens that that particular woman just didn't find you attractive. And the reason why she didn't is because we all have different tastes, we all have different flavors, we all have things that we're attracted to and things that we're not attracted to, and people and traits that we're attracted to and traits that we're not attracted to. And for whatever reason, that's how she felt about you. So you don't need to find closure. You don't need to know why, the specific reason why she didn't like you, because more than likely, she won't be able to articulate it anyway, because it's just a preference. So, because a lot of guys think, well, I need to know closure because if there's something I can fix, then I need to fix it. You can't fix a woman not being attracted to you. She's just not attracted to you. She can't feel anything other than that. That's how she feels. It's not something that, oh, if I change this and if I change that, that's what I need to learn these things. I need to know these things so I can change. Not necessarily. If she's not attracted to you, she's just not attracted to you. And you just got to let it go. You just got to let it be. And that's one of the reasons why it's a mistake that men do that, is because it makes women uncomfortable. And it makes them feel like you can't let it go. Because in a sense, you can't let it go because you need closure. You need to know why. When in reality, the reason is very simple. She just wasn't that into you. So don't turn into closure man, because that will really annoy a lot of women, and it will make them fight. Even they could even actually be kind of not good for you to do that, because if you keep messaging a woman, or you keep trying to talk to a woman to find out why she didn't like you, it can make you seem like a stalker, and it can make you seem creepy. Okay, if you can't let it go, because that's one of the fears that women have. They have a fear of men who can't take no for an answer and can't let it go. Okay, so even though you may be coming from a completely innocent place of, yeah, but I just want to know what I did wrong, just be warned about that. It's best to just let it go, and just to take my advice seriously, that the reason why she rejected you was because she just wasn't that into you. You don't need to find out from her. Okay, I'm just trying to save you from getting into any kind of trouble, because men can get themselves into trouble because of that, even when they are coming from a very innocent place of just needing closure. Okay, it's just one of those things. I don't want you to get into trouble. Okay, so I've given you the answer. Okay, so don't turn into closure man. The third mistake that men make after being rejected is turning. This is a long title, right? You've had turning into action man, turning into closure man, and then there's the last one, which is turning into best friend, but actually I want to get into your pants man. Okay, right? So this is another thing that can happen when men get rejected, and a mistake that they make. The woman may say something like, oh, well, they may not, but they may say something like, why don't we just be friends? Or maybe the guy will be like, okay, well, let's just be friends. Okay, so he accepts the friendship, or he invites the invitation to friendship, and she accepts the friendship. But in reality, what's actually happening is he doesn't want to be her friend. He hopes that by being her friend, he can somehow worm his way in, or prove himself to her, maybe even get some closure, to find out what's going on, so he can change his behavior and turn into action man, so he can win her heart a few weeks or a few months down the line, thinking that by being her friend first, it's going to change things. When in reality, if she's already rejected you, you know the answer, right? She's just not that into you. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, actually, yeah, well, I do actually just want to be her friend. What I say to men who say that is this: cool, that might actually be true. Perhaps you do genuinely want to be her friend. That's great. But what is stronger, right? Your desire to get into her pants, or your desire to be her friend? Like, for example, if she messaged you, right, and she said to you, so I've got an ultimatum for you. We can continue being friends, or do you want to come over and have sex? What would you choose? Right? What would you choose? Now, if you genuinely think, no, I'm not attracted to her anymore, I just want to be a friend, then fine. You know, if that's the overriding emotion and you'd pick this, still just continue to be friends, fine. But if you would be in your car as fast as lightning to go and sleep with her, then you want to get in her pants more than you want to be her friend, don't you? Right? And if that's the case, then you're just going to break your heart, right? And it's just going to be really difficult for you to be her friend, because you're obviously very, very attracted to her, and she obviously turns you on. Okay, so it's going to be excruciating to be just her friend and not being able to touch her, kiss her, make out of her, you know, do romantic things together, and of course get in her pants, right? It's going to be very difficult, right? And your emotions and your investment in her is just going to grow even more over time. So when she ends up sleeping with some other guy and being in a relationship with some other guy, getting married to some other guy, you're going to feel your heart is going to get completely shattered, because you just prolonged the situation for yourself so long by being her buddy. Okay, when you could have been moving on and sleeping with loads of other women and finding the right woman for you, when you could have just let this woman go and just continue to just do that, right? Continue to find a woman that did want you. So those are the 3 mistakes that men make after being rejected. If you'd like more tips on how to attract the beautiful woman of your dreams, then you can go and read my book for free. You can go read it from my website, www.christineloveridge.com. Just go to the link in the description. It'll take you to the website, and just click on the menu on the website, and just then click on the book, and it'll take you straight to the PDF reader where you can read this. You can get a physical copy too. There is a link on that page to Amazon where you can get the Kindle version or the physical copy. The Kindle version is much cheaper. And if you do happen to buy the book, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a nice review for me. It could be about the book, or it could just be about my coaching in general. It's just if you, especially if you get the Kindle version, it'll be a cost effective way to, least cost effective way to support me. Okay, if you'd like to, and I thank you very much if you do that. That would be amazing. And if you would like help with me personally, and you feel like you need help with a very specific situation, then again, please go to www.christineloveridge.com and pick whichever coaching option works best for you at this current time. But it's not necessary, because everything that you do really need to know is in the book, which again, like I said, you can read completely for free. You don't have to log into the website to access it. You don't have to, there's no confusing landing page or anything like that. You can just read it completely for free on my website. You don't have to do anything. It's just there for you to read. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.